And understanding the whys really helps. So why do we take a pin after putting a cutting block on when we're doing a total knee? Why do we do that? Why do we get a cutting block, put it on the femur, and then they ask for a pin? What is that pin doing? Does anyone know? Holding it in place. And I feel like the more I have explained this, it's one of those like aha moments that's like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Because you're not thinking that way. You are just thinking what's on your back table, what you need to hand next. You're thinking, oh, they took this, so usually they take this, but wait, am I out of order here? All you have to do is look. They just put the cutting block on, they have one pin in. So they're probably gonna need another one. Are they the headed pins on this cutting block with this system, or is it this one? Ask the rep. Hey, are these headed pins, or is it the regular Brasseler pins that we have? Which ones do we put on here? So you put those pins in, and then what comes, it holds the block in place, and what comes after the cutting block and pins are placed? What's the next thing that you're gonna pass after a cutting block and pins are put in? Saw blade, you gotta cut. You just put a cutting block on. That cutting block is put on there so that you can then make cuts. And you have, the only thing you have back there is a knife blade and a saw blade. And if you hand him a knife blade, after that, after we make all the cuts and he or she hands you back the saw blade, what do they need next? Pin puller. Yes, pin puller, because you have to take that cutting block off. And this is something that I finally understood just from watching cases and asking questions. Nobody ever taught me this way. But once I learned it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna teach this way, because this makes so much more sense. And it helps you understand faster. So you're not having to go so many years just not understand, there's a lot of instruments back here. I have 12 trays that I took one thing out of each of. Thank you very much, rep. But you know, you have all these trays, but you just don't understand all these jigs that you put together. Like, what are they used for? I'm just trying to like stay ahead here. Just understand the whys. So the pin driver, you need the pin driver so that you can pull those pins out and then get the bone out, which is usually a 3/4 inch osteotome. They want a femur lift so they can get underneath the posterior condyles of the femur to pop them out. Pop out that bone.